Before I talk about this fight, I just want to say one thing to one specific company. Netflix, I'm watching you, okay? I am watching you. Why did I see Mike Tyson's bare booty butt cheeks? Why did I see that? In between buffer, Netflix. What are we doing? Monday Night Raw is coming to Netflix. I don't want to see no buffer when Liv Morgan is on my screen. When John Cena is on the screen telling me about how he's going to beat every single superstar on the roster one more time, I better not see one buffer. I don't want to see none of that little spinning circle. I don't want to see none of that. Thankfully, it didn't buffer during the actual fight. But beforehand, it was terrible. And in between buffers, I just saw all of Mike Tyson. I didn't want to see that. So Netflix, you better get it together quick. For real. Another thing, that Serrano and Taylor match, Serrano was robbed. Period. Serrano should have won. That was my first time seeing both of those fighters. But Serrano should have won, and that was the real main event. That fight was a lot more exciting than whatever Tyson and Jake Paul tried to do last night. And that's real. Now, when it comes down to this actual fight, I was very much surprised at how boring this was. Mike Tyson, he looked good for like 1-2 rounds. And then it just looked like a super strong 27-year-old beating down on a senior citizen who very well at some point maybe could get him with one good hook and maybe stumble him. And that's all I had to hope for. All I was hoping for was that Jake got cocky for 1 second and Tyson gave him a good left and staggered him. That's what I was living for. Unfortunately, we didn't really get that. We got just a very boring fight, which obviously led to a very gassed Mike Tyson eventually losing. Now, I will say a few things. One, Tyson didn't crash out the way I expected him to, which, hey, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't lose any money. You know what I'm saying? And if you bet anything on Mike Tyson, I heavily doubt your common sense, but you know. And then we had a situation where this really just came down to Jake Paul realizing that now, after beating Mike Tyson, he's going to have to fight some real fighters. Now, I don't care if you pick Tyson or not. That does not absolve Jake Paul from the responsibility of now calling yourself the face of boxing. You have to start fighting some people who are actually in the field right now. No more retired boxers. No more retired UFC fighters. No more YouTubers. No more streamers. It is time for you to start getting in the ring with Tyson Fury. Gervonta Davis called him out last night. You know what I'm saying? Canelo. I think he called out Canelo or something. Tyson called out Logan Paul, which was very funny to me. Logan needs to focus on Roman Reigns and LA Knight because he can't even beat them. So I don't know what he think about talking about beating Mike Tyson. He needs to shut up. If you're looking for me to give some props to Jake Paul, I will never do so. I don't care if he actually does fight a real boxer and beats him up. I don't care. Jake Paul is a prosthetic boxer. Factory made. I don't care what he does at this point. Call me #1 Jake Paul hater. If you don't like that, tough. Turn the video off. I don't care. There's nothing he can do to sell me on this character that he's trying to build up. I'm never going to give him his props. I'm never going to give him any kind of credit for anything that he does. Borderline on his brother. So if you come to this video looking for that, please, this is not the video. Go find someone else. But Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, this was a cash grab like they all are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm like, this is a cash grab. Yeah, they're always cash grabs. They're always that's what they all are. You know what I'm saying? We're all just living on the hope that one day Jake get knocked on his mat. You know what I'm saying? Or knocked on D mat. We're just hoping that at some point he gets his block knocked off. Well, at least that's what I was hoping for. Apparently, there are people who are actually Jake Paul fans, which, again, you can't save everybody. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this. At some point, he's going to have to stop fighting the past and fight the present. And I don't think he's going to be able to beat one of these fighters that be in the field all the time. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he can retire right now, and he can retire on the headline, Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? He can. That's just what it is, you know? Was it Mike Tyson in his prime? No. But he can just go off of that headline and, you know, in his head it'll work. Surprisingly, I've seen a lot of people who also, even after last night, he may have lost some fans after last night, surprisingly. I think what they tried to do with this, it may not have worked. I think a lot more people were on the, like, we hate him more now kind of thing, you know? And he's playing the heel, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't really care about the crowd support, I assume. But still, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's ever going to be respected in the boxing light that he thinks. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely not the face of boxing. He's just saying that to be the heel, which, again, that's his job, I guess. But that does not change the fact that I do believe if he ever got in the ring with one of these boxers that be doing this, not an actual active boxer, they probably would knock him across the mat. Or he may win, but it may not look as polished as a lot of these fights do. You know what I'm saying? He may end up with a big wound on his head like the lady before. So, if Jake Paul is ever going to get an ounce of acknowledgement from me, and I do mean an ounce, he's going to have to go in there with a real fighter. Canelo, Gervonta Davis, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Has he fought Wilder yet? I don't know. Every time I turn on the screen, Jake Paul's knocking out the black guy. So we going to talk about that. Every time I turn the screen, I see. I was like, I don't know about this. Next thing you know, Tommy Fury, he lost Tommy Fury. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen. I don't want to see him go in there. I'm fighting Tyson. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And you know that's what he's going to do. He ain't going to fight no real boxers. He don't want that problem. He don't want that problem. But we'll see what happens. Jake Paul, you a bum. Mike Tyson, you have not lost any of your legendary status. You went out there as a 58-year-old man. You didn't fall. He didn't knock you out. He barely stunned you. I think you stunned yourself more because you just an old man, which, hey, old man. Father Time is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Father Time beat up Mike Tyson more than Jake Paul did. You know what I'm saying? And that's real.